Hello and welcome to Bahrain, guys. This is round number 4 of Season 2 of F1 2013 Career Mode, and I believe this is part 22 or 23 overall for the whole Career Mode career. So this is going to be pretty interesting. We had a pretty bad round in China in the last round, so hopefully all of our bad luck is out of the way and we can just get on with our championship campaign. So here we are in qualifying. I did a couple laps in practice just to warm up, but there was no real interesting bits to put in for this video for that, so I've chose to leave that out for this. And here in qualifying, I'm going to be skipping towards the end. I'm going to wait for the track to evolve. Yes, I did say evolve this time. Last time I think I said evolutionize, which isn't a word, but I'll be waiting till the end of the session to put on a set of option tyres, because I'm going to be starting on a different strategy today. I want to start on the prime tyres for the start of this race. I think that the prime tyres might be the best race tyre, and I just want to preserve those for the race. So I'm going to use a lot of option sets in qualifying. Well, my goal is to just use one set of options through Q1 and Q2. Hopefully it can last the distance, and we can just get into Q3 without any problems and use the prime tyre in that third session if we can get there. So yeah, this is just my first lap. I've put in about 5 laps of fuel, and coming up to finish the lap, and we managed to get first place on our very first run at the end of the session. So I was pretty proud of that, and topping the session with my teammate backing me up in second place. It's good to see that the Mercedes is back on the pace, but tyre wear is still an issue, especially for this first half of the season. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that all plays out. And once again, I'm fast forwarding to the end of the session just so I can, just wait for the track to be at its fastest point before I go out for another run on my first set of option tyres. So, I'm sort of worried about the tyre wear. So, if worst comes to worst, I just want to have as many sets available to me in the race as possible. So, here is my qualifying lap for this Q2 session, and as you can see, I was just having a lot of problems with the rear end. Not too sure if the rear tyres were gone or what it was, but either way, I was struggling with the rear end, and we managed to go into 10th place with that shocking lap. But I made a mistake on that second lap just after that one, and I had a cool down lap and tried to get going for this final sprint, but I ran out of time to set another lap time. So that banker lap was just good enough to get me into Q3, and I'm so lucky to get into Q3, to be honest. So now we can just focus on getting the most out of the prime tyres. So it's going to be pretty interesting, and this of course is going to be my fastest lap of the weekend, so I'm going to let you guys enjoy the qualifying lap without any commentary. So turn the volume up and enjoy it.
Well, that puts us fourth on the grid for tomorrow's race. Great drive.
Alright, so starting on 4th place from the grid on the prime tyres, so that's a pretty good effort, and I'm very much looking forward to how the race plays out tomorrow, considering we're starting on the prime tyres. So as we head out onto the grid now, wish me luck. Alright, so here we are on the grid for the Bahrain Grand Prix Round 4 of Season 2 in F1 2013 Career Mode. Starting on the prime tyres, can we get another win in this championship? And away we go. It looks like we're not getting any traction off the getaway there. And we actually lost the back end there, almost into the wall. Something is definitely wrong with the car. And look at that, I've got some kind of tyre glitch because look at the right hand side of my tyres. They're absolutely gone. They're brick red. And I've only done 1 lap in qualifying on this set of tyres, so it's definitely some kind of Codemasters glitch, and we're going to have to pretty much limp this car back into the pits. So this is a very disappointing start to the race. We may not even get points in this race. That's how bad it could be. But we're going to pretty much have to limp it back to the pits, take as few risks as possible because you could lose so much time and even damage, further compounding the issue. So it's actually a very big handful to drive right now. The steering's actually pulling to the right, even in a straight line. So it's a very odd feeling. I've not had this before. I've had it on F1 2011 where all 4 tyres are brick red, but that was sort of a bit more manageable because the tyre wear was balanced across the 4 tyres. So yeah, I'm just struggling at the moment. Look at my my steering inputs. You can see me sort of balancing the wheel off center and having to putting the car into lean so I can minimize the wheel spin because it's just an absolute nightmare at the moment. I'm trying not to hold up these guys as much. I'm just trying to maintain a decent speed without, losing too much time at the same time. So it's very interesting to say the least. I've not been in this scenario very often, so the best thing to do right now is not to panic. Just try and get the thing back to the pits as safe as possible without losing too much time, and we can hopefully get on with this race. Locked up an absolute treat there into the final corner, but now thankfully the lap time around Bahrain isn't that long, so thankfully we don't lose too much time. We're going to rejoin in last place, you'd have to say, and we'll probably put on the prime tyres and stick to the strategy that we did have before. But something that just crossed my mind just literally now is that we've used up one of our prime sets in this race, which is not good because we wanted to use those prime sets for this race, and we're going to have to revert to the option tyres in this race. So a little bit disappointing going up the inside of Jules Bianchi there, but we've only got 2 more sets of the prime tyres to use for the rest of this weekend because we used 1 set of primes in practice, which we're not allowed to use in the race, and the tyres we started on, the primes, we got the inside of Vandergaard there, but the set of primes that were damaged or glitched out or whatever, they've been used up. So now we've only got 2 sets of prime tyres to use for the rest of this race, and the first of which are on the car right now. So in my next stint, I've only got 1 more set of primes to use for the rest of this race, so I might have to switch to a 3-stopper or a 4-stopper using a lot of option tyres. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out now. This glitch has really thrown me off my strategy here. So we got the inside of Gutierrez, was that? Or was that another Caterham? I think that was Charles Peake, but yeah, we're having another replay of this because he might have been forced out wide, but I didn't touch him. That was a nice move there, but yeah, this is really going to throw the cat among the pigeons here because I was really counting on those prime tyres to last me the whole race. So again, having some more bad luck, and hopefully this doesn't cost us too much. If we play our cards right, we've just got to balance out the stints in this race, and hopefully we can claw our way back and get into the top 10 for this race. That'd just be an absolute dream right now because right now our race is pretty much in tatters, and we've got to just get as far up the field as possible because if we stay at the back, we're not going to pass anyone, we're not going to score any points, obviously. So yeah, what can you do? The field is actually quite spread out in this race. Normally a lot of the AI cars are actually bunched up together, which means they slow down each other quite a bit, and in this race they're actually quite spread out across the whole track, so that means it's actually going to be harder for us to pass them. And being Bahrain, it's not one of my strongest tracks, to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but it's going to be very tough to get up the order. So on lap 18, I'm putting on a set of option tyres because I just want to see how long a set of option tyres can last in this race. I think it's worth mentioning that the AI still haven't pitted in this race, considering they started on the option tyres, which is very odd. My prime tyres felt pretty bad after 18 laps, and I couldn't stay out any longer because I was starting to lose about half a second to almost 7/10 of a lap to them every lap. So it was time to come in for a set of option tyres. We've caught up to the back of Valtteri Bottas, who hasn't stopped in this race yet, and he started on the option tyres, as you can see in front of us. So it's very interesting. I think the option tyres might actually be a decent tyre. Otherwise, the option tyres or the AI might actually be really good on their tyres. I don't know. But as we see a replay there, I got up the inside of Bottas, and he pretty much ran himself out of road there. And we're going up the inside of the other Williams, Maldonado. And I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but the AI are braking really early through this middle sector, and I'm able to lunge them from a long way back and get up the inside, which is pretty interesting. It makes for some good overtakes, but just caught me out a couple of times, especially when catching and passing the back markers a couple of times. But here on lap 24, we've caught up to the back of Ricciardo, who got held up by a Caterham there, and that allowed us to jump a position there. So now lap 31, we've done about 17 laps on the option tyres, which is outstanding when you think about it, because we only did about 18 on the primes. So I think in some kind of weird circumstances, the option tyres might actually be the better race tyre, because they're the faster compound and they're lasting as long as the prime tyres, which is really weird because, the prime tyres are a harder compound. They're supposed to be more consistent over a race stint. But it seems the option tyres are the way to go. So I'm going to stick out with the options for now as I pass Maldonado again, who I don't think has stopped yet. So I'm not racing him effectively. But I'm going to take this set of option tyres as far as I can, and maybe go for options at the end. I'm not too sure if I have an extra set of options to use at the end of the race. I think I might have a used set of option tyres, so it might be interesting. I've still got one set of prime tyres left to use at the back end of the race. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm running out of tyre sets very quickly, so as lap 39, we go purple. We're starting to find our feet. I was struggling for a long part of this race, and finally I'm starting to find my feet and actually get some speed. So now I've caught up to the back of my teammate Nico Rosberg, who I believe started second on the grid, and he's fallen his way back down to 9th, which will be 10th now as I go purple and pass him with the DRS. So again, Nico is struggling with tyre wear. It's not so much of an issue for me in this race because I'm using option tyres, which seems to be pretty good in race conditions. So maybe the option tyres on this game, or especially in the early part of the season, are the better race tyre to be on. I'm not too sure. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments, but it's very interesting to note what's happening here in this race today as we go around the outside of Felipe Massa, who got held up by, I think that was Mark Webber in front. We're going to go around the outside of him there. So up into P8, Mark Webber is just ahead. I'm going to save a little bit of fuel for the next couple of laps because I think I'm -1 on fuel. So just got to watch out for that for the next couple of laps to make sure we don't run out of fuel, and I should be able to pass Webber pretty soon as I lock up into this triple left-hander. It's really easy to do that there, and that's cost me a couple of positions. One to Felipe Massa, and almost lost the position to my teammate there. So now at the end of the lap, I've caught up to the back of Massa again, who I think is struggling on his tyres, and I believe he's on the primes, and he's about to come in. Yes, he is. He dives in late for his final pit stop of the day, and he's going to have to do about 18 laps on his final set of tyres. So the benefit of my strategy is that I'm going to have fresher tyres towards the end. They're going to be about 5 laps fresher compared to those around me, like Massa, Webber, and Rosberg. So towards the end of the race, I think some of the AI cars will struggle for tyre wear. Hopefully, as always on this game, the tyre wear for the AI hasn't really been an issue, but hopefully it causes enough of a problem for me to catch up and maybe pass a few guys. So coming out onto the track, we're rejoining in 10th place with Mark Webber right in front of us. So the undercut didn't work too well for Webber, and you'd have to say it's only going to be a matter of time before we pass him. So we might stay on board with this point of view here for another little bit, because we might get up the inside of Webber very soon. So coming through here, and we're actually going to lunge him. He's left us just enough room to go up the inside through turn 4, and we might have actually made contact there, but thankfully the move was pretty clean and we're able to get on with our race. So now Felipe Massa is up next, and as you guys know, his tyres are about 5 laps older than me. He may be on the prime tyres as well, so he probably won't be able to put up much of a fight to us with DRS. Going up the inside, and that's 8th position in the bag. So next up is, let's see who it is. Waiting for the timing to update. It's Sergio Perez, but unfortunately he was a long way up the road and I wasn't able to catch up to him too much. So it's the end of the race now, final lap coming up to cross the finish line. Sebastian Vettel takes out this race win here in Bahrain, but it was a nice little comeback in this race, and I was, you know, sort of half proud, half disappointed in what happened today. Considering we had to make a pit stop, an extra pit stop over the whole field, we managed to claw back some ground fairly nicely and get some nice points in this race. Sebastian Vettel takes out the race win. Jenson Button gets third with Romain Grosjean in 3rd place. So that's a pretty interesting podium with my teammate Nico Rosberg getting 6th place in the race today. So again, this might hurt us in the constructors because we are fighting Red Bull in the championship. 2 DNFers in this race, Jules Bianchi and Guido van der Garde, I believe. So in the drivers, Sebastian Vettel has now taken over the drivers' championship lead by 17 points, I believe. So we've got a little bit of work to do for the rest of the championship. As I said, the tyre wear for the early phase of the championship is going to be a pretty big issue, so I want to make sure I don't concede too many points to Vettel in the early phases of this championship. In the constructors, I believe Red Bull have stretched out a little bit of a lead over Mercedes, so again, we'll need to claw that back, and hopefully that can start at Monaco. We might just have to train me and Rosberg at the front of the field, so it's going to be interesting to see how this championship plays out. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, the Bahrain Grand Prix. It went pretty quick, but at the same time, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. So until my next video, I'll see you guys next time.